Okay, this is my 1989 Kawasaki Vulcan carburator. This is one of them, and the other one is over here. But what I'm going to do is, on the other videos that I had you guys see where I was taking them down and taking them apart and looking into them. Now I want to put this back together, and I want to show you guys how it goes, because it's important to get the parts back to where they're supposed to go, and be sure and to look and make sure all the diaphragms look good. The diaphragm on the coasting enricher looks very good. On the coasting enricher that goes here in the carburetor, there's a little rubber O-ring that goes right up here at the top of the coasting enricher, and then we want to make sure that this diaphragm is in good condition all the way around. And then we want to place our diaphragm down inside our carburetor slot, and then we got a spring. And then what we want to do is this has an oval part on it right here that fits where the spring goes and where the rubber O-ring goes. So we're going to take this down, push that spring down, and then we're going to put our screws in here and put our assembly back together. Screw it down. Like this. Okay, we get it screwed down pretty good. We can go ahead and take our Phillips screwdriver and we'll tighten it down. And we'll tighten it down on one end pretty good, and then we'll snug it down on the other end like this, and then we'll tighten back and forth so that the tightness is evened on both sides. And we have our coasting enricher in. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to take our slow jet, and on the slow jet you're going to have orifices on these slow jets right here, and you'll have a hole down through the middle of it. What you want to do is make sure that that hole is clear and there's nothing clogging in this slow jet. And a slow jet is going to fit right down in that little hole on this side right here. And we're going to take our screwdriver and we're going to screw this back down in there. Not real tight, but we're going to snug it up. Okay, snugged up. Now on our main jet, we have our main jet, and we have our main jet that goes down in here that holds the main jet. And these also have orifices right here, and you want to make sure that those orifices are clean and there's no gunk built up on the inside of this connection. And then make sure that your main jet is clear from any debris. And then we want to place our main jet back into our orifice here that it goes in, this connector. And then it fits right down in here, and then we're going to tighten it up. And we're just going to snug it up. We're not going to put a whole lot of pressure on it, and we're just going to make sure that it's in there real good, because it definitely is not going to go anywhere. Okay, now we got it snugged up. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our casing around. Here's our casing right here, and we're going to put our casing around and close off our jets. Okay, now make sure that you have your rubber seal on the inside of your cover. And you want to place our cover on here like this, and we're going to screw it in. And also, again, you're going to tighten these a little bit on one side and then tighten it back on the other side and snug them down, because you want this to fit snug and that rubber plastic seal to seal up good. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, now we got that part on. The next thing we want to do is we want to take our choke, and we're going to place it down in here. This is our choke lever that opens up the valves, so you get enough fuel inside your carburetor so you'll have a good clean start. And once we get that on there, then we'll tighten it down just a little bit. Okay, that's enough. Just hang it tight, and that will work in this position like this. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to take our needle. We want to take our needle, and we have our diaphragm here, and we want to place our needle down inside. There's two holes down there, one on one side, one right directly in the middle. We want to place our needle inside there and push it down in there, pull it so that it comes up snug against the inside of the wall of the diaphragm connector. Then we have our rubber spring that we can put in here like this, and then we're going to take it up like this, and we're going to place it down inside the carburetor. And right here, if you'll notice, the pin goes inside the little hole right there. So you can either guide it in with your finger, or sometimes you can just guide it straight down in there. And then your diaphragm will come up flush with the top of your carburetor. The thing you want to look for is make sure that the diaphragm is sitting in this round edge so that it seals good. And it may take a couple of times to get it sealed the way it needs to, because I've had that problem before. And then right here there's a connector that goes down. The spring goes on the, this goes on the inside of the spring. So we're going to place that over the top of the spring like so, and pull it down on top of the diaphragm. Now we have our screws, and what we want to do is we want to place our screws in there. And what I like to do is start on one side, and like the screw